Today I'm getting all the colors in my contacts. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shelly if you're new here, and today we're gonna go over, in case you couldn't tell by the title, we're gonna go over some Wet n Wild 5-pan palettes. These, I feel like these are Wet n Wild's answer to the e.l.f. 4-pan bite-sized palettes. So we're going to take a look at these. I had a request to do kind of a review video, and I normally don't do those. We usually just do application videos. We don't even call them tutorials, but I figured I would kind of talk about these little palettes here. So the first one is Petalette, and I think these are normally $3.99 on Ulta. The day that I'm filming this, they're on sale for $2.97. So they're right at the same size as the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, except for you get an extra shade. So this is Petalette, and I'm gonna, hopefully it'll focus, not too bad. So you can see you've got kind of a bright pink, light pink kind of lilac color. You've got a berry tone, more of a mauve. You've got a deep kind of eggplant and a bright shimmer. This one actually has 4 shimmers and 1 matte. So we're gonna do a look with that. We also have the one that is called Camo Flaunt. And Camo Flaunt, if it'll focus, it doesn't have any camo. There's no camo green in this at all. But what you do get is 2 shimmers, 2 mattes, and a pressed glitter. This one is called Walking on Eggshells. It is your basic, neutral, everyday wear palette. This palette, the first one I bought of this particular shade, busted in the pan, and I just couldn't see using this palette without that dark shade. I probably could have, but with my coloring, I tend to like a little bit of a darker shade to kind of smoke things out, give my eye a little bit more depth. I just prefer darker shades. This one looks like it has this one has 3 shimmers and 2 mattes, I believe. And then the last one is called Go Commando, and it is actually the one that has a little bit of a green shift to a couple of the shades. Come on, focus. This one down here on the end already kind of started falling out because I dropped it earlier today and I had to press it back in. But this one gives you kind of some green shift, but a lot more of kind of like the rusty colors too. Not like rusty as in bad, but like rust as in, you know, orange or something. We're gonna start with the Petalette palette. I'm gonna put it on this eye for fun. So I'm gonna start with that mauve color because it's the only matte that's in here. Good amount of kick up. One of the things I've noticed about this formula, the colors go on pretty darn subtle, or at least these matte pastel colors. Even though I've got that Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas eye base on, as I prepped my eyes earlier, you just don't really get a lot. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I'm gonna go in with the lighter kind of lilac-y shade. This is gonna be the one that's gonna go over my movable lid. I am applying it with a damp brush right now, and my dog just sneezed, bless you. And I'm gonna bring it down a little bit too because we're gonna have our brightness down there. All right, so that gives you the lightness. Now we need a little bit of the darkness, I think. So I'm gonna grab this eggplanty purple color. This one does go on a lot more pigmented depending on what brush you use. I am doing a duo fiber brush to kind of help diffuse it. And I think if you were to go in with a damp flat brush or your finger, you'd get a lot more saturated color. Speaking of fingers, I'm going to go in with my finger on this mid-tone berry shimmer right here, and I'm going to press it into my eyelid. There's a little bit of kind of like a press and drag almost. My dog is breathing so loud. I'm going to take my blending brush, and this doesn't have any additional product on it. I'm just going to kind of dust and blend those colors together. The only color we haven't used in here yet is this light color, Champagne. And maybe for fun, we'll just do a little bit up here too. I normally don't highlight my brow bone. Okay, so as you can see, you get a very subtle wash of color. And I think this might have been the palette that I used in my Wet n Wild video. One eyeshadow look, and I now have glitter all over. So I'm gonna try to clean that up a little bit. Let's get some mascara on and some eyeliner, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, back with look number 1 with the Petalette version. I have a little tiny bit of mascara. I didn't put a ton on, and I did put on a plum eyeliner. I did grab the berry shimmer in the middle here and just drag it underneath my lower lash line for just a little extra dimension. The glitter in here is horrifying. I had it all over my face. Now, this is the Walking on Eggshells palette. We're going to do it on this eye over here. This one is a little bit more of a yellow toned neutral palette, but I'm going to go in with this kind of tan colored matte in here. This is probably the perfect palette to be wearing with my sweater today. My sweater vest, I guess is technically a sweater vest. We're going to go into this mid-tone shade here. It is actually a shimmer. I'm just grabbing it on the same brush. And we're putting that into the crease. This to me might be my top favorite of these palettes. Well, I like the, you know, kind of lavendery, lilac, plummy colors of Petalette. The Walking on Eggshells is like a fantastic, having it in your purse, go to work. I'm gonna grab this. Boy, I literally have eyeshadow all over my desk. I'm gonna grab the darker shade here. I'm just using the same brush. I'm tipping into it just a little tiny bit. I want to darken up this outside here. But this is the palette that I would say, this is the everyday palette. This is the subtle no makeup day. This is the work from home day. This is the going to a meeting palette. This is throwing it in your purse. Maybe not throwing it in your purse because you don't want to have the shadows break. And I'm just taking that darker shade and blending it in kind of a C shape here on the outside. It does not take a lot to blend them, and I think it's because the shades are so subtle. Taking my finger into this kind of a pinky, I don't know what you would call this. It is a subtle peach kind of undertone to it, but the formula is actually very, very creamy on your finger. And I'm going to take my brush again. I didn't grab any more product, but I am going to kind of dust it into that crease to make sure that there's no shimmer involved. I'm going to take a little bit more and just sort of press it onto the center part. It does want to dust away quite a bit. All right, now that I've got my battery changed, this is the Walking on Eggshells palette that I used on this side. Again, you can see that it is just as much washed out and subtle, but the colors I think are completely appropriate for everyday, just regular wear use. I did take the lightest shade and use that to kind of brighten my inner corner a little bit. And I did take this kind of, call it like a mid-tone. It is a shimmer, but I used it to smoke out that bottom line. I did use a little bit of brown eyeliner, a touch of mascara, and this is an absolute perfectly appropriate everyday look. Like, there is nothing interesting. There's nothing offensive, bothersome, anything. This palette is not too warm, not too cool. I just think this is a great everyday palette if you have a similar or maybe lighter skin tone. I'm going to take these off and let's come back with our last two looks. This is the Go Commando. This is the one that I broke the darkest shade in here, which sucks because it's actually the prettiest one. It fell off my desk earlier. It's 100% on me. I normally am pretty good with my palettes. Apparently today wasn't those days to be good with your palettes. Okay, I'm gonna grab, and this one again has 3 shimmers and 2 mattes. It is so soft right now because it broke. And I did put that Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base back on it. I so want to do both eyes with the same palette, and it's hard for me to remind myself that I'm only doing one eye. Okay. That is a great, great color. It does buff out darn near seamlessly. I'm going to use this green shimmer on a relatively clean finger on my lid. If you are new to my channel, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you consider subscribing. I'm going to do a giveaway at another, well, once I get to 400 subscribers. 400 was my husband's idea. I said 500, but he's like, no, do more, they're fun. If you guys are new here and you stick around, you'll see that a lot of the looks I do are the same technique because of my close-set, hooded, mature eyes. Once you find something that works for you, it's hard to stray off of that. So I got the green kind of on the inner, quite a bit actually. And I am gonna go in with the rust colored in here, and we're gonna use that on the outer corner. This palette, I think, is easy to do 2 colors, a shimmer and a matte, and that's all you need. Now this shade to me seems to go on just a little bit more patchy. I'm using the same brush that I used for the first one, but it wants to take a little bit of extra time to buff and blend. Maybe it's because I put it, I mean, part of it's over that shimmer, but I don't think so, because I think the majority of it's out here. I mean, we're getting there. I think what I want to do is take this Rest shimmer and lay it down right over the top of that outside corner. That to me is the best trick to fixing patchy eyeshadow. If you get a patchy matte, and sometimes the super dark pigments are hard to formulate. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and we're just going to kind of buff up that top edge here. I feel like the colors just don't want to stay on all that great. That's how you know that I'm not sponsored, affiliated, or endorsed by anybody, because I give you guys my honest opinion. You know, those colors are okay. I think they play well with each other like the color story does. I'm a little hesitant to use this shimmer because I think it's the same shimmer that's in that other palette that got literally all over me. I'm taking this brown again here. The most khaki brown in the palette. It's probably a better name for this. My eyes are feeling very crepey right now. And I think that's because I've literally taken off and on my eyeshadow multiple times today. So I need to clean up around a little bit. I'm gonna put on some mascara and I will be right back. Okay, back with look number 3 with the, which one is called? The Commando Palette. This is a darker, richer version of the Walking on Eggshells. I think Walking on Eggshells gives me my daytime look. I think the Commando amps it up just a little bit. It's a little bit more sultry, a little bit more interesting with that green color. I did not use the lightest shade. I don't know that I would use the lightest shade based on the one from Petalette. I think they're very similar, and I just felt like I got it all over me, so I'm gun shy right now. But I think you could use it as a highlighter. I think you could use it as an inner corner highlight, probably a brown highlight or a brow highlight. I think you get, you know, the two kind of warmer rusty colors and the two kind of greenish colors together, and that's maybe all you need for like a super simple, easy look. We're gonna do one more look. This one is this one's called Camo Flaunt, and there's one shade in here I don't want to use, and that's that pressed glitter. You do have 2 other shimmers and 2 mattes. I've got a clean brush. I'm going to go into your nude matte in here. It's hard to have a heavy hand with these palettes. Like, you really have to work if you wanted to get super pigmented, super saturated color. The plus side is if you are new to makeup, or if you don't really feel like you know what you're doing, or if you feel like you're just not someone who can pull off super dark, crazy, bold colors, this actually makes it easy, almost foolproof. Like, I think for like a glasses day, you do this shade all over, maybe a little bit of mascara and eyeliner, and you don't need to do anything else. Like, that is a really pretty neutral. The darker color here, I'll just use the same brush. And this is kind of more of a rich espresso shade, and it goes on very sheer, but we're gonna drag that up a little bit here. I'm just kind of working in small circular motions to blend it out. I do feel like these shadows layer pretty well on top of each other, but you almost need to layer them to get to the saturation level that I personally want. But again, there's good and bad in that. But that looks pretty seamless. Like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of, I'm gonna use that same lighter color up here a little bit more. I'm not seeing a whole lot of like skipping or patchiness. This quality in this particular one, I'm really enjoying. Okay, I'm gonna grab the peach shimmer because that's the one that I would use on my finger. That is so pretty. It almost has a little bit of a rose gold look to it. That warm peach. Dust in that darker shade. That's a pretty look. I don't know what I would use this silver for. Let's try that in something. We're gonna actually, we're gonna go in with a silver with I have the small angle brush, but I'm gonna use it on my inner corner. Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna go back into the darker, richer espresso color up against my lower lash line. And I'm gonna get it way kind of up close, tight. And then I'm gonna go back over it with the lighter brown. I'm gonna use that to kind of smudge it out a little bit. Just sort of soften it up so that's not like a super harsh line. I don't know why they had to ruin it and put in that glitter, but okay, and I'm actually gonna take this little rose gold kind of shimmer too, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of that right up here against my lower lash line as well. the shimmers in these palettes probably apply better with a damp brush, truth be told. I did not put on any eyeliner, but I'm going to throw on some mascara and I'll be right back. Back with Camo Flaunt. I'm not getting camo in this look at all, but I do get a very, very pretty, sorry, it's almost hard to tell. I get a very pretty, absolutely wearable look. This glitter, it's, I mean, as far as pressed glitters go, it's gorgeous. And if you're gonna take a very pretty daytime look and amp it up for nighttime, you press a little bit of this glitter right on top of it, keeping it out of your eyes because it's probably not eyeshadow or eye safe. But that's super stunning. Am I close enough? Can you guys see? See how pretty that is? Man, it's just gorgeous. And I hate when they put pressed glitters in here. It feels nice though. It's a nice creamy formula. The glittered flakes don't seem harsh, but it's not one that you probably want to have on your eyelids all said and done. So if you can get rid of that, I think every one of these palettes has some redeeming qualities. If I were to rank them, I almost feel like every single one of these should have been done as a 4-pan palette. This one right here, the Camo Flaunt, I like these two together. I like these two together. I like these three together. I don't need this glitter. They could have lost this one. This one doesn't need to be in here. On the Commando Palette, honestly, I think we probably could have gotten rid of this one, the champagne color out here. While it is beautiful, and see, that one feels creamier. Maybe I should have used that one. It's blinding. It would be a nice like highlighter, I think. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. But the rest of the colors are great. If you can ignore the fact that I busted this one, I think these 4 shades, again, you can pair those up, you can pair those up, you can use them to kind of mix and match. I don't mind that palette. It's the one I have on this eye right now. It's darker, richer, smokier, sultrier. The Walking on Eggshells palette, I love this one. This one is perfect for me. This one's my number one for an everyday palette. This lightest color might be the same one that's in the Commando shade. They're very similar. I think this one's actually a little bit more cool tone, where the other one had a little bit more of a yellow undertone to it. I don't know which one gave me the glitter. I think it might be this berry shade that gave me the glitter that literally was all over my face. This is the one that I've used the most, and I think it's my least favorite. But I think it's my least favorite because of the glitter fallout. I just don't think you need it, and I think it's that berry shade right there. I think that's the one that's the culprit. All of these, the formula feels very creamy to the touch. It just takes a little bit to build them up. And again, if that doesn't bother you, then I think these are fun to play with. They're a cute investment. I feel like I'm trying to justify it to myself. They're fun palettes. I don't regret having them. I'm glad I got a chance to play around with them. Do I think they're dupes for the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes? Nope, I don't. I don't think they're dupes for Natasha Denona little mini palettes, mainly because the quality is nowhere near what you would get. I'm trying to get some of the glitter off my hand. The quality is nowhere near what you get in Natasha Denona palettes. The color saturation is nowhere near. It's just not as good quality. And it's not the price tag either. And let's take advantage of like for a VIB sale. But even then, it's still more expensive. Anyway, you guys, I hope this was kind of what you were looking for. I know I've done another video of Wet n Wild makeup on, tried to include it in the cards in this. I can tell you that some of the Wet n Wild products I've actually really enjoyed. This Walking on Eggshells palette, this is the hands down winner to me. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get out of your hair and I'm gonna go film something else. So I hope you guys are doing really well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll do a giveaway at 400 subscribers. I hope you guys are doing really well. I thank you. Those that have been here for a while and then you keep coming back around, you guys inspire me. And I love seeing you guys over on Instagram. Your guys' pictures inspire me. Your comments, your words, your stories, all of your love and support, it goes right back to you guys. So I hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.